Hello, and thanks for clicking in for more information on our CPET cardiopulmonary exercise testing and cardiometabolic crossover. You're going to see two examples, an optimal and a less than optimal. Hello, I wanted to take about 4 minutes to show you a positive crossover test, cardiometabolic crossover test, to find out where your metabolic crossover occurs, what corresponding heart rate, what corresponding power output. Let me just introduce you to CPET and CPET protocol here at M360 Clinical Fitness. There's 4 primary things we're going to be looking at: your heart rate, your wattage, that's the stress protocol, carbohydrate, or glycogen, glucose, sugar, and fat, of course, adipose tissue. So it's very simple. 33 minutes, 3 minutes at each stage, about 11 stages. Start at a very low level, specific to your own power output. In my case, I started at 50 watts, went up 25 watts. Every 3 minutes, I pushed a little extra to the last stage and averaged 312 watts. So I went through everything from 50 watts to 312, and I peaked out right at 400 watts. So that's my stress. That's my life. That's my performance event. That's what's coming at me that I have to perform. So what's my cardiorespiratory response to that? We're going to see that with the CPET. Here I beat my heart beating 83 beats a minute to cover that 50 watts I needed to ride. But you can see that goes up as the wattage goes up, the stress goes up, heart rate goes up, cardiopulmonary requirement goes up to a point of about 90% of my max, 147 beats a minute. Where does my cardiometabolic crossover occur? Right here at about 85, right here about 85 to 88% of my max heart rate. So this is a very good result. I'm very happy to see this. You can see initially the purple down here, that's all sugar. And there's a little burst of sugar to cover the cost of movement in the very beginning. It's called a glycogen burst. It's a very real metabolic situation, and it's there on purpose. You're laying on the couch, you hear a boom, you jump up, that's covered by sugar. And then once you get walking, you're over your response to whatever you're starting up, your new activity. Sugar should go down to where it belongs and sit down there as a minimal substrate for this activity, and fat should come up. So you can see my total activity was primarily funded by fat, totally by fat through here. So sugar came up as the intensity came up. Fat peaked out right here. That's your max fat oxidation. So for me, it happens about 129 beats a minute. That's about 75% of my max heart rate. And it happens as high as 250 watts. That'd be where my max fat oxidation would be. So that's kind of a trigger to intensity level I need to train at in order to utilize more fat. So anywhere along here from 87 to 108, 110, 120, 130 beats per minute. And you see me max out over here at the crossover, 85 to 88%. So we're going to find out where you sit. How do you test, induce a stress to you, see how your heart responds to that stress, and see how your metabolism, your energy metabolism, responds and covers the cost of this activity. If we find that you're going to be the next one I'm going to go through and show the less than optimal outcome, we're going to change that. There are things we could do. We are not helpless. But the first step, my friends, is to identify where you're at. So we're going to be having cardiometabolic testing at M360, in which you're all welcome to come take a test. There will be a small $65 charge to cover that and to cover the cost of that hour and the use of this equipment, blah, blah, blah. But it'll be the best $65 you ever spent. So you're going to find out where you're at, metabolically speaking, and you're going to find out how to change it. So let's get busy. Let's get right. Let's identify those targets, and let's go and change them. Thank you. Hello, please stay tuned for a less than optimal result here so you can see. Thank you. All right, let's take a few minutes to look at the less than optimal CPET test here at M360 Clinical Fitness. Here, what's missing? Look at this. You've got everything you had in the previous video. You got your heart rate. That's your reaction to the workload. That's your protocol. That's the green. That's the wattage. Wattage goes up in increments. Heart rate goes up with it. Who pays that bill metabolically speaking? Your energy systems, fat substrates and sugar substrates to make ATP. adenosine triphosphate, the currency of the human body. That is energy. So the answer is fat is basically non-responsive. In this case, this person I would have to consider sugar addicted, sugar dominant, glycolically represented, for lack of another word, versus lipolically or fat represented. The previous video, person was fat adapted. So we simply want to take this metabolic situation and improve it. We can target intensities by heart rate, intensities by wattage, to start flushing out more fat oxidation, to utilize more fat for fuel so that we have a much better crossover. This person's crossover occurs right around 60-65% of their max heart rate, which is not good. That means that all this activity, even that low-level activity over here, low wattages, are covered by sugar when they shouldn't be. They should be covered by fat. So a person can have a lot more energy, have a lot less inflammation, a lot less oxidative stress, lower CRP, lower insulin resistance, and just have a much better cardiometabolic health and performance profile. That's simple. That's simple. So join us and sign up for a test within the next 3 weeks, 4 weeks, and let's get you all done and find out where we're at and exactly what we're up against. So, ciao, baby. Have a great day.